Shapiro blows up the Glass Onion, a movie review. I assume if you haven't seen Glass Onion, you should have by now. You should have.
It has the juice.
Okay, or else. You're not a downer. It's okay. It's very good. It's a very good movie, especially if you're a lefty and you don't like billionaires. So I'm very excited to see what his critique of the movie is. I have good reviews of the movie. I would love to know what he thinks is wrong about this. Ben Shapiro.
Alrighty, folks. So, in case you missed it, over vacation, I critiqued Glass Onion, the new Knives Out mystery, on Twitter, and it blew up the world. People are very angry at me because I think it's a stupid, stupid movie.
It's actively bad.
It is stupidly plotted. It is filled with stupid characters and stupid writing, and Rian Johnson's a stupid, stupid man. We'll get to all that in just a moment. First,
Jelly.
This video is sponsored by...
First, it's sponsored. All right, chat. Literally subscribe immediately or else.
Okay, let me explain how stupid this movie is.
Okay.
This movie is unbelievably stupid. Like STOOPID stupid.
Oh my God.
The primary reason why this movie is stupid is because Benoit Blanc, who is played by Daniel Craig, is supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
Google said you are the world's greatest detective.
No, Google said you were the world's greatest detective. Like, that's part of the joke. That's part of the writing. Google said you're the world's greatest detective. And then he goes, well, I'm not so sure about that. Like,
if you are making a movie about the world's greatest detective, presumably you need the world's greatest detective in order to solve a complex crime. This entire mystery is predicated on the idea that the crime in question is idiotic.
So dumb, it's brilliant.
No!
Which completely robs the story of any meaning.
no, that's the meaning. That's the point. What? You didn't understand the metaphor of the glass onion?
It has the juice.
What? You missed the... It's a minute in and you missed the point. The reason why the movie works is because Blanc is only good at solving complex crimes. Right. If you have not seen Glass Onion, now is your one chance to jump out of here before spoilers. Okay. So, Glass Onion is a metaphor, and we talk about it throughout the movie. It's not like a surprise. The Glass Onion is it's called the Glass Onion. We talk about it in the movie. Glass Onion, it's a thing that seems like it has a lot of layers, but you can see right into the center of it because it's made of glass, right? And so it's not really a complex thing. It's a thing that seems complex but isn't. That's what the movie is. What do you mean? That's the fucking thesis, Ben. What?
It is poorly constructed. The characters make no sense. Their motivations make no sense. Now, as we will see,
Their motivations
Rian Johnson
make perfect
actually
sense.
creates a series of get-out-of-jail-free cards for himself to escape the fact that his writing is terrible. But this movie makes no sense. So let's start with the premise of the film.
It has the juice.
The premise of the film is that Miles Braun is basically Elon Musk. Right?
I love how the twist was Jesse's actual fix. Exactly. Thank you for the bit.
He's played by Edward Norton, and he's Elon Musk. He runs space companies, and he runs a social media company and a news company and all the rest of this sort of stuff.
Founder of the ubiquitous tech giant Alpha, which now has dozens of companies from Alpha Cosmos, Alpha Car, Alpha Shop.
And he has all of these hangers-on, and all these hangers-on, he's essentially paying them to be his friends.
They like to call themselves the Disruptors.
Miles Braun has called all of his friends to this island to do a murder mystery game.
Try to solve the murder mystery, if you can.
And Benoit Blanc has been accidentally invited in order to solve this murder mystery.
I've got the predefinite detective in the world at my murder mystery party. That is so legit.
And you sort of think that maybe Edward Norton actually will be murdered. Maybe that's what this is.
I wouldn't watch that if you subscribe to me at tier 3.
Going to be about. No, that's wrong. The first 75 minutes of this movie are just a lie. Now, there's a difference between a red herring and a mystery, which is where you put a piece of evidence that seems to lead in one direction but actually is irrelevant.
Across the island, I've hidden clues. Some may be helpful, some may misdirect.
What?
That's for you to determine.
Yeah, this was part of the fake murder mystery, and then the scene here is Benoit Blanc going, actually, I solved it. And so it's irrelevant now because the murder mystery isn't part of the plot now. Did Ben turn his brain off? Ben is probably the dumbest guy. What the fuck?
There's a difference between that and what Rian Johnson does here, which is he just tells you a completely irrelevant piece of storytelling for 70 minutes. Completely irrelevant. And when I say he lies to the audience, of course, all murder mysteries hide some aspects of the truth from the audience, but they don't outright lie to the audience about the subject of the mystery itself for no apparent reason. So typically speaking, there are a few points of view that a movie can take. One is sort of the God's eye point of view, where you are seeing everything that is happening, and where the director has to have some sort of excuse not to give you a bit of information. So that would be, say, the sting, and certain crucial pieces of information. One conversation is withheld for the sake of the mystery.
Yes, that literally happens. We have several scenes that go back and show you alternate perspectives because you missed information. There's literally like 2 sequences that go and give you context for things you didn't have context for, that unravel. The mystery is not the murder mystery, Ben. The mystery, there's like several mysteries. There's mysteries about who sent the box to certain characters. There's mysteries about why certain people are doing certain things and taking certain activities or making certain choices, and it unravels over the course of it. The mystery is not Elon Musk's murder mystery. That's the point. The point is that it was vapid and it was easily solved. But Benoit Blanc isn't good. He's not good at solving stupid things. I don't know how you missed this, man. I really don't know.
Then you have movies that are from a particular character point of view. So when the twist happens, it's because the character didn't know a thing that the character probably should have known. That would be The Sixth Sense, where the entire movie is really from Bruce Willis's point of view, which is why he doesn't know that he's dead. If you haven't seen this. Anyway. Then you have movies like this, which are
Why
sort
is it
of...
so fucking loud? That's just to drive off anybody that hates loud noises.
God's eye point of view, but sort of not. They're from Blanc's point of view, but they're from Helen's point of view. But information is randomly withheld, including the entire plot of the film.
What? No, it isn't. I don't know how to... I don't... I'm assuming everyone who's here has seen this movie. They thoroughly explain pretty much every main character's like motivations. They literally have conversations out loud about some of them.
Because as it turns out, the entire plot of the film is not about the murder mystery on the island. The entire plot of the film is about a character we did not even know existed.
Ben is automatically wrong because he's Ben? What are you talking about? I just disagree with his movie review. Hello?
For the first 70 minutes of the film, Miles Braun is in an ongoing lawsuit with Andy.
This is a subplot.
He is the co-founder of the company.
Andy started Alpha with Miles 10 years ago, just the 2 of them.
No. The plot... Okay, no. This is a subplot in the movie. The plot of the movie is Benoit Blanc's interaction with it. A subplot to explain the plot of the movie is her story.
One legal move, he cut her out completely.
Right? He wins. She has evidence that she is the co-founder of the company. And this is the only piece of extraneous evidence ever in this sloppily written napkin with the idea for the company.
So based on the napkin idea, Andy and Miles created Alpha. It blows up. They bring everyone along for the ride.
She emails that to everybody. Miles Braun kills her because she's foolish enough to email him and everybody else a picture of this envelope that has the napkin that's supposed to decode the whole thing. The person who you think is Andy is dead, and it's Andy's twin who's been investigating all of this. And Benoit Blanc has been invited in order to solve this murder mystery.
Andy didn't commit suicide.
You want to hire me to go to that island?
Assume for a second that the cops come upon this without any sort of murder mystery at the island, any of this. The cops come upon Andy's body. And what they do is they perform an autopsy, right? Because she's a suicide, supposedly. And what they find in her system is that she took a heavy dose of sleeping pills and then gassed herself.
Yeah.
The first thing they would do is assume, wait, we have a problem here. Why would somebody take a heavy dose of sleeping pills and then gas themselves?
She sends that email. Nobody writes back anything. And then the next day, she's dead in the garage with sleeping pills in her system?
The next thing that they would do is they would check her email. Correct? They'd go to all her family members and would find out what is her email password.
So I went on her computer and I looked in her email.
They would find that she sent an email to...
They're not... Ben, do you think the police... He thinks the police arrest billionaires for stuff easily? What? Oh, this is where it falls apart for him, is his belief that cops would be able to handle such a thing. Maybe because she had institutional power, but she had lost it. I don't know, man. This sounds definitely plausible to a suicide attempt.
Everyone saying, look what I found, this red envelope. They would then go and interview all of the people, and everyone would have an alibi except for Miles. And then they would uncover this.
What do you mean? No, literally what? They show a history of these people lying to let him win. They were all willing to lie. The reason she's there is to establish that they're liars and to convince them not to support him as the murder comes out and as his shitty product comes out. Like, they literally hide the murder. And part of the reason that the rest of the plot even happens is that Dave Bautista's character sees this happen and then blackmails Elon Musk's character with the information that I know that you were there and I'm the guy that has to establish your alibi. It literally happens in the movie. Like, what?
With basic procedural police work within about 24 hours of this. This does not require any sort of sophisticated detective in order to debunk any of this.
It's about how people with money get away with shit, even murder, and they do. What? Don't you literally believe this about Epstein? What?
It's idiotic. There's a
Don't you literally believe this from Epstein? You believe that Clintons fucking killed him because he had inside information. You can't believe they would do that outside of prison? My goodness gracious.
Giant plot hole right at the beginning of the film. The entire film begins with all of these various characters receiving the puzzle box. Inside is an invite.
And then I just hear a knock at the door, and it's some carrier with this thing from Miles Braun.
Well, Andy receives a puzzle box. Why? Why? Miles killed her. Why is she receiving a puzzle box?
But he still invited her to this weekend? Question isn't why he invited.
Because he wanted to cover his tracks? Yeah, what? It looks sus? It's not a fair critique. It takes 2 seconds. What was the motivation of someone who killed someone sending them a box and an invite to something? Well, I invited her. I'm surprised she didn't show up. He also could have sent it before he killed her. But, like, I mean, either way, it like works towards his alibi. It's not interesting.
Fighter.
You guys should DM a D&D campaign for 3 seconds. It'll make you think about stuff. I'm much more nefarious.
It's why did she show up?
Why would he invite her? He's been in a giant, well-publicized lawsuit with her. None of this makes any sense whatsoever.
He's an egomaniac. What do you mean? Why would he invite her? What? Do you see the way he interacts with her throughout the thing?
It is a giant fail. It is just lazy, lazy, lazy writing. Rian Johnson was too lazy to even create characters who had independent motivations to kill Andy in the first place. Miles is the only person.
They go through an entire sequence and they establish motive and opportunity. They literally do. They are investigating the island because she's convinced it was one of them.
Person who has an actual incentive to kill her. Everybody else has a secondary incentive to kill her to protect Miles. But why would they do that? Wouldn't every single character in the film be better off exposing Miles for what he is? We'll get to more on one of the worst films.
Oh my god.
PN, skill techniques want Predacoms to cover is a mad act that he has started. Cool. The secondary plot device here is that they're all being paid by Miles to cover for the fact that he has created a substance called Clear.
I call it Clear with a K.
This Clear is a magical energy source that apparently is so highly flammable that a little bit of fire will blow out an entire giant glass onion of a building.
No, the whole place runs on it. They established it. But when you run it, it lets out a gas that sits around in the pipes, and it ignited when the fire happened. It's crystallized hydrogen. Like, they literally talk about, like, oh, if you do this, someone's house could fucking explode. You're going to turn their house into a Hindenburg. They literally describe this. It's not this little bit of fire.
A little bit of...
No, this little bit of fire is not what blows it up.
Fire will blow out an entire giant glass onion of a building.
Literally, They don't show it. They don't show it. He cuts around it. Right here, if anyone's watched the movie, right here, this is a vent, and it sucks up all the fire out of the room, and it ignites in this, and it goes through all the fucking pipes, dude. The whole place is powered by the fuel. It's literally part of the plot. Pay attention. Thanks for the 50 biddies. Yeah, I'm sure this happened before with Thelma Todd. I don't know who that is, but the victim of that crime.
You have a politician, right?
How doesn't he understand how that worked? Ben, suck at science. It's not even science. It's just the movie. It can be it's science fiction to some extent because this thing doesn't exist. But it doesn't matter because they established the premise. They're like, okay, if your house will turn into the Hindenburg because it's in the vents. The gas is in the vents. Okay, all right, then that's the premise we're working on.
In this movie by Katherine Hahn, and her entire thing is that she's been paid off by Miles in order to essentially green light clear.
You signed off on the power plant.
Yep. When this thing breaks, poof. My whole base is gone. My grassroots lefties, gone.
How is that going to work out for her as a politician? Literally the first time somebody lights their stove, boom, an entire city block goes up. Does that go well for her?
That's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. But she wants his money. She's on the grift. But she's worried about the implications of it on her career. But she knows that while she's going to take a PR hit, she's going to have lots of money because she feels bound to Miles Braun in the movie. That's her conflict, Benjamin.
Right, Birdie is supposedly going to protect Miles because she wrote an email suggesting that she was complicit in a sweatshop. Wouldn't she be better off blaming Miles for that? She's a second-rate celebrity.
No, he's saying, if you do this, I'll pay you money. He literally talks about it. It's like, look, you have to do this or I'm just not going to. He bankrolls all her shit. And her only source of income is tied up in his stuff, the fucking pants or whatever. Did he not pay attention to a fucking second of this? This is insane. He really didn't listen to that.
He said if I take full responsibility for the sweatshops, he'll pay me the value of my shares.
Wouldn't she be better off saying I was misled into this by Miles? Duke, he needs Miles to give him a
all of these people are being manipulated, Ben. What?
Show on his network.
But
why does he need Miles to give him a show on the network? If he exposes Miles, he's the single biggest podcast host in America overnight.
Because it's a billionaire. Ben, people who write things like your shitty book about how we read stuff. Combat General shouldn't call their story stupid. Oh, no. He does do that.
I was wondering why my googs are blowing up.
My
The views on my channel are off the charts. You got to see this.
Lionel Toussaint, who's the assistant to Miles, he has all the inside data. He knows Miles is a moron. So why exactly doesn't he?
That was literally a scene where he shows Miles Braun evidence. He shows the kill, essentially. He shows that, like, look, oh, her face, she's dead, and I know that you were there, and I know that you killed her. So now you got to give me the network because I want it. He wants it because it's his ambition, Ben. That's what he wants. He wants it because it gives him not just more money, it gives him institutional power. It gives him real institutional power, not just the guy who's a flash in the pan that broke one story. It gives him an apparatus through which to have legitimacy. But the googs popping off for the announcement of her murder. Yeah.
He exposed that and just become a super famous and rich person.
I know. But what can I do?
You can tell him no.
And then the ending, of course, makes no sense at all. Plus, it completely undermines Helen's character. She, like an idiot, pulls out the napkin, and Miles burns it, the only smart move he's made during the entire movie.
The only smart move.
For some reason, she just goes on like a random crystal smashing spree.
He doesn't... The symbology of smashing the billionaire's glass fucking effigies to capitalism doesn't fucking... He doesn't understand that. For some reason. She's pissed off and she's destroying his things. The things that he got from exploiting her sister and her and everybody that exists, and for all these people. Like, come on, what?
And I was waiting for that to be a plot point, and it just wasn't.
This isn't a plot point. This is the plot. What? Ben Shapiro's just a fucking idiot. And I know that everyone knows that, but like, it's really worse than I think I had given him credit for. It's really worse than that. How doesn't he get it? This has to be a rage bait thing. He's saying like literally the opposite of everything that happens.
And then she burns up the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to get Miles in trouble.
Your feel of the future just barbecued. The world's most famous painting, you dumbass.
It has
Yeah. Because all of these people are going to do what happened to Miles, or what happened to her sister. They're going to tell not just the truth, they're going to tell the truth, and they're going to say that this guy's fucking negligence lit the Mona Lisa on fire. Yes, this is a terrible PR thing for Miles to destroy the most famous painting of all time and a symbol of white European cultural hegemony. Like, what? Ben legit just doesn't understand people being pissed at billionaires. He doesn't get why everyone isn't just civil all the Thanks for the videos. I don't know. He's weird.
So not the killing of two humans, not the murder of Duke, and not the murder of Andy. The burning of the Mona Lisa is what's supposed to get him in trouble. Except the person who burned the Mona Lisa was Helen. Helen burned the Mona Lisa. This makes her the worst person in the world.
Does it? No. They're going to lie, Ben. Ben, they're going to say he did it. Ben, they're going to do what he did because fuck billionaires, because he deserves it. They literally talk about it. They're like, did you see him do it? Yeah, I did. And I saw him at her. He's going to go for all of the things, all of them, and one lie. But it's a good lie because his fuel did lead to that. And his hubris did lead to that. And it was there because he's full of shit, and fuck him and fuck the Mona Lisa.
So, Rian Johnson actually creates a series of get-out-of-jail-free cards for himself to escape the fact that his writing is terrible. Number one is the journal.
You know, she kept a journal every day of her life since she was 6 years old.
Symbolism.
Andy has been keeping, day by day, a magic journal. The magic journal that has all the details of her life. So much so that Helen can play Andy and will be indistinguishable.
They're twins. This is a normal twin movie thing. Does he get upset about, like, sister?
We'll never know for the first 75 minutes of the film that it is, in fact, not Andy. Question. Why would that journal not include details of how the company was founded?
Because it's not in there, or it's a journal from after that?
Right? Because that was the basis of the entire lawsuit. Why could she not bring her journal, written contemporaneously with the founding of the company, and show her notes, showing exactly how the founding of the company went down? Oops. Journal was supposed...
Oops? Not an oops. It's not on the journal. Okay, Ben.
...to be get-out-of-jail-free card number one. Then we have the second get-out-of-jail-free card, which is the identical twin.
I'm not surprised that she would write in her own journal that she founded the company that she's arguing for. What do you think a lawyer's going to do with that argument? In her own journal, she wrote that she founded a company. I'm shocked. That she wants to have? Wow. Very, very compelling stuff. He is religious, I guess. It's written in a book. Well.
Card. Once you have an identical twin, you can basically do pretty much anything. Now, this is not like The Prestige. Okay, the entire point of view of The Prestige is that if you are watching closely, you can determine that there are twins in the film because there are clues dropped everywhere along the way. You don't even know there's...
I don't know why he's... Yeah, like, he's worried... Like, actually... She burnt the Mona Lisa. Well, actually, she founded the company. Why is that? I'm surprised. Does she not get that way to get billionaires in trouble to piss off other billionaires? Like the Mona Lisa burning in his house because of legal overrides he installed in his miracle fuel would ruin him. He would get sued into the ground. The actions of the others in the situation mean nothing because if it weren't for his negligence, it wouldn't have happened, of course.
There's a twin for the first 75 minutes of the film. So how are you supposed to pick up clues that there is a twin? It's very strange. Okay, finally, the biggest one of all is...
You're not? You're supposed to see it from the perspective... You're supposed to be duped as well, so that you can buy that it's plausible. Like, that's...
Is that the murderer is an idiot. Now, the giveaway here is that Blanc actually just says that out loud. Right? Blanc actually just says at the very end that Miles is a moron.
The key to this entire case, Miles Braun is an idiot.
So this answers all the questions. Right? This answers why he sent because he's stupid. He sent her a puzzle box because he's a dum-dum. Why didn't he burn the stupid napkin in the first place?
Because he's an idiot.
Right? Once you say that the main murderer is an idiot...
Then I just disagree, Andy. I think you watch movies like a baby. Yeah. It didn't follow the formula you were expecting. You couldn't figure it out. I mean, then you didn't get to rewatch the movie again. You see it from a different perspective. It's the point of the movie. It's showing you all the layers of the story. It's the point of the movie. You don't have to like it. You're just wrong with your... calling it analysis would be strong. Yeah. I mean, it's just a weak opinion to have. It's not a whodunit. Not really.
This allows you to do anything except make an interesting film. Because if the main murderer is an idiot and the entire plot is stupid, then why do you need the world's greatest detective to uncode the world's stupidest murderer?
Because it's not a fucking detective movie. It's a movie about fuck billionaires. Who gives a shit if you could solve Knives Out? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember the mystery of Knives Out enough. Who cares?
The only way the politics of this movie works is if you live in Rian Johnson's political thought bubble, in which all incentive structures are lined up in favor of the right and against the left. Right?
No, it's in favor of capital and against people without capital.
Or if you're a left-winger and you bring down the most powerful person on earth, like if you were to bring down Elon Musk tomorrow, you wouldn't be famous and rich. You would just have your life ruined.
You would lie for a lie, but you won't lie for the truth.
That is a lie. That is the stupidest nonsense in the entire world.
What?
The reality is that if somebody did what Miles is supposed to have done, right, launched a rocket company, launched a news company, done all the things that Elon Musk has actually done, that person would have to be, almost by definition, relatively bright.
Wow, that's fucking not true. That's just not how things work. That's adorable. I'm sure he has the same opinion of billionaire Rihanna. I'm sure he has the same opinion of every other fucking person who has more money than him. Kardashians come to mind. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Okay, buddy. Like, he's an investor in a lot of these things. And he's a Nepo baby. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
If you read this...
Ben's a Nepo baby, too.
This is a direct analog to Musk. You have to create some sort of story where Elon Musk is not actually the smart person. There was actually some unnamed intersectional woman who was the very smart person, then was chiseled out of her... What? She was, by the way, brilliant enough to found the company, too stupid to actually encode in her contract anything that protects her in case of a breakup over the future of the company.
Too stupid. Elon Musk is a living testament to everything you said just being wrong, Ben. I know, right? Elon didn't make his money. Oh, don't come in here and suck billionaire dick. It's not going to end well. That's like a cringe look. What's your favorite part of a billionaire? Let's talk to this guy. Hey, Pav. What do you like about billionaires, bro? What's your favorite part of billionaires? No? Thus, one comes to the conclusion that building a company like Tesla requires some degree of exceptional smarts. I do not think that that is a reasonable way to think. No. That's not a smart person's way to think. Sorry, Pav. I regret to inform you that you are not thinking like a smart person ought to think.
the juice?
He hates that a black woman and a gay man brought down a billionaire tech bro. I mean, he must. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think he was really paying attention to the movie very well.
So, yeah, just really, really well done stuff.
I'm a hard light on climate change. If that scares you, go stick your head back in the sand.
The politics doesn't make sense. The movie doesn't make sense.
Why?
It's filled with plot holes.
What?
Rian Johnson made an entire film about how a stupid person masquerading as a smart person nearly gets away with it because he is stupid and rich. I'm just going to note here that Netflix apparently has paid Rian Johnson $100 million. They paid him like $100 million for the Knives Out series of mysteries, which means that Rian Johnson is an incredibly rich person pretending to be smart who actually writes really stupid mysteries. Now, I know a lot of you enjoyed it. I know.
Dude, this guy's so salty no one watches his movies. He's so fucking mad no one reads his books. Like, they read his Daily Wire stuff. Nobody watches those fucking movies, dude. He's so mad. His parents come from Hollywood, and he couldn't cut it, so he's on his right-wing grift shit, and he literally just wants to be a movie producer, but he can't do it. He has no eye for what makes an interesting story. He doesn't understand storytelling whatsoever or writing, and he really wishes he was in there. Andy, I really got to ask you to shut up. I just gotta. Look at this vibe. Brother, you're tagging me every fucking time you talk to me. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that any more than you like being picked on right now. Yeah. I don't tag you every time. I'll stop tagging you. Look at how much you're fucking typing. Please. I can't read my chat. I type fast. It's an issue. All right. Give you a little 600. Little 600 to shut the fuck up for a while. A little 600 such. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up for just 600 seconds. Okay.
A lot of people love the movie.
Jesus Christ.
It's not my fault you're wrong.
We're having a day.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry that you're wrong.
Take 10 minutes.
And if all of Twitter says that I am wrong, I don't care because that's Twitter. Well, whatever, man. I would just say that I'm signally amused by the fact that
really
of all the things that I have tweeted and said in the past year, the most controversial is that I think this movie is ridiculous and terrible. Because Rian Johnson is a member of the political left, they have made Rian Johnson into the Jordan Peele of Darren Aronofsky's.
Oh my God, that was so fucking pretentious. Oh my fucking God. He's not even close to Darren Aronofsky. What? Darren Aronofsky makes movies for liberal fart sniffers, and I like some of his stuff. But I mean, that's really like someone who, I don't know. He's so fucking hammy with his art. Anyway, it's good, and it's also like so fucking dramatic, dude. It's like, I don't know. Go watch. I don't know, Dennis Villanueva. He made some good stuff. You should watch some of those movies. Those are good. Because has a super fan. I do. What's my super fan? That has been pretty random with the spoilers. Yeah.
He's now a director you're not allowed to criticize because he has the proper politics, even though The Last Jedi remains a complete piece of trash. And by the way, this is coming from somebody who didn't even mind the first Knives Out. I thought the first Knives Out was at least somewhat clever. This one is just dumb. Alrighty, that's enough of that. Catch you here next time.
I think it's a really good movie.